Okay, let's talk about Kamala Harris, the
Yeah, the
actual
camel.
president of 2020.
Yeah, but she's in deep water right now. So first of all, there was a poll that came out a couple days ago from John McLawn. I don't know. I'll link it down below. And what he found was 64% of all voters say it's likely Vice President Kamala Harris will be president before Joe Biden's term ends, and Trump will defeat her in a 49-45 split. If this isn't concerning for Kamala Harris, I don't know what is. But we have some even more concerning things. This came from an Axios article, a couple of days ago, where the vice president is described as a shit show, and she's fucking up. And
Based.
yeah, I
No,
know
isn't she?
exactly. She's often described as a poor heir apparent, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a successor to Joe Biden. And she's obviously described as poorly managed and staffed with people who don't know her very well. Now, if that isn't like horrible enough, right? Her own camp doesn't even like her, right? Who cares about what the American people think? If the morale inside the eye is horrible, then it eats you alive. But let's talk about what people think of her. She's been criticized from both parts of the aisle, so from Republicans and Democrats, for her handling of the illegal immigration crisis, because Biden dumped her. He wanted her to take care of it. He didn't want to take any of the slack, and she hasn't really been addressing, quote, the root causes of the issue. Harris also visited the border. However, as we mentioned in a previous episode, she visited a county in El Paso, 800 miles from the, quote, illegal immigrant epicenter. So it's also not looking good for her in Texas, which is a very, very important state for Democrats to win if they want to see some really good gains. Now, she also mentioned on an interview with Lester Holt, this is not new information, by the way, I'm just repeating it, that when Lester Holt asked Kamala Harris, like, why haven't you been to the border? Her first response was, I haven't been to Europe, and I don't understand the point you're making. Obviously, it's a bad diversion, not a good call from Harris. It just makes her seem like she's pushing off one of her biggest issues to the side and comparing it to an issue that doesn't really hold water. And that's it. I mean, Harris has so far, not she's not looking too good. I think we all agree, right, guys?
Yeah, she kind of shit. Like when, especially for example, she went to Guatemala and a bunch of people had signs ready for her saying, "Oh, go back to your home," or like Trump won the election,
That's funny.
or it was like so bad. She was getting mocked so bad by the people that she wanted.
Wait,
Like,
hold on.
to
Wait.
vote for.
Some of those signs said Trump won the election.
Yeah, if the editor can put it up, if not, it's fine. But it was really funny. Also, she gave a very like funny speech because she's like, "Well, you guys should not come to the country illegally, so don't come." And it was just very like ironic because the left or the Democrats want like more people to come in through the border, but she's like, "Nah, do it legally." And it was just funny because like that's basically how the right view it, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, it's only
Oh.
racist if you're a Republican, right? Who cares
Right,
if you're
of
a
course.
Democrat?
If you have the right
Exactly.
politics, you can't be racist. No.
Right.
I mean, look, we've already gone over about why the Democrats are like actually incredibly racist, and of course, this is just another one of those mask off moments. Oh, actually, speaking of mask off, I do find it kind of funny that, of course, it was Joe Biden and Kamala who were trying to take all of the credit for finally telling people what they've always known about the masks. We've covered this in a previous episode. But now, when faced with this opportunity to actually make some type of progress when it comes to how America deals with the border, right? Because Kamala has gotten all these responsibilities that Joe has just dumped on her because, he doesn't actually know how to solve problems. Kamala had a
And
real
by the way, let's mention that he doesn't want to take any of the slack. So if he fucks up, That's bad. That's really bad for Biden because he's only polling at 60%.
I mean, yeah, basically, we everyone on the left and the right have basically established that he's basically just a racist. And the only reason why they leftists like him more than Trump is because of Trump derangement syndrome. But anyways, what I was saying was, there's so much potential for Kamala to actually do something here. Actually, like, help with the situation at the border. And she just did nothing. Like, what? And when people ask her why she didn't visit the border, she just completely and visibly tangents to a different subject. Like, what?
Look, I don't... Like, I get the... how do I put this? I get why people are saying you should go to the border, but realistically, if they're changing policy, going to the border should be really low on the list, as it really does nothing. But in her situation, she's literally done nothing for the border. She's changed no policy. She's done nothing for the border. She's done nothing for the children at the border. She's done nothing for the people, the women, the children, a lot of these coyotes, which you don't want her to do anything for them. But she has done nothing for them. In fact, in many ways, she's actually made it very easy for these coyotes to take these children and women, abuse them, and take them across the border into America. So...
Damn, kids in cages, just like Obama did it.
Right, and they're building more facilities with cages. Like,
oh,
what?
Great, awesome.
Let's make it like a zoo type of thing, you know? Let's buy concessions to view it.
Gotta put the animals in the cages. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. I think overall...
Great takes from Kamala.
Overall, it's pretty obvious. I think it's obvious to most Americans that Kamala is going to succeed Joe Biden halfway through his term, because Joe Biden seriously has some sort of developing dementia or already has dementia.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.